Welcome to What's in the Box. Today it's IWO JIMA 1945 for Worthington Publishing and Old School Wargames, which originally put this out. And they do have some Kickstarters for some stuff out there now too. This is actually commissioned artwork. It's got a name. Christie did this. Mr. and Mrs. Christie. Can't see the first name very well, so it's hard to read, but it looks. So this is a 14 plus, victory within an hour again, and one player, and it is very similar to my Tarawa 1943 game. Obviously, it's a different part of the Pacific campaign. The play and mechanics are very similar to Tarawa 1943. So if you play one, you can play the other very simply by looking over the rules. There are some minor differences, and they do reference that in the rule book they provide you. So we get a mounted game board again. We get wooden blocks, which is the same as Tarawa, the other game that's similar to this at this time. We get a sticker sheet, dice. It says 2 rule books, but it's only 1 rule book. They put 2 on here. I did reach out to them to see if that's a misprint, but I'm assuming it is, because if you go on their website, it says a rule book and a custom tray, which they always provide that, which is so nice, and which everything fits in the box again, which is also very nice. Designed in USA, but made in China, which everything is nowadays, unfortunately. So let's just read. On February 19th, 1945, the U.S. Marine Corps would land 30,000 Marines on the island against Japanese Defense Force that numbered roughly 21,000 Japanese soldiers, facing Japanese commander who had learned a valuable lesson, or learned valuable lessons from losses on other Japanese islands. The U.S. Marine Corps would eventually land over 70,000 Marines and suffer over 25,000 casualties during the 36-day campaign. IWO JIMA was the only island assault during the Pacific War that the attacking U.S. forces would suffer worse casualties than the Japanese defenders, because there's only 21,000 and they suffered 25,000. Command U.S. Marine Corps forces as Japanese throughout the car-driven game defend the island, prepare defenses and relentless attacks. My mom, there's a little history and background, lived in this area in the 60s, and she saw a lot of IWO JIMA, Chichijima, all that area. She lived on the island with the people there on the island, so there's lots of good stories that my mother have about the area, which I may provide in the future, about the area and how life was in the years after World War II on those islands, before they come in the modern era. So let's pop this box open. I love the boxes. So we get little baggies, which you can use. We got the the wood blocks. I don't know if I'll ever really use them, because we get the nice tray too. And then we get the rule book in here, and we'll go through that. It's a nice same artwork with some sheets on it. The sticker sheet, so just like Tarawa, which we got a nice big sticker here that we can use, put somewhere. We got the 3rd Marine Division, the 4th Marine Division, and the 5th Marine Division. So you got 2 different styles if you want the standard Marine all the same, or do you want to keep them separate so you know what they are, what color coded. And then you have the Japanese 109th Imperial Japanese Army, along with just generic, if you want just generic stickers, which is cool too to keep. And then a nice big sticker. And then we got the board, this big board. So I'm gonna drop it out like that. Nice tray. 6-sword tray is really nice. And we'll go backwards. So these are the Japanese wood blocks. 2 big bags of them, because there's lots of troops in this one. A lot more than Tarawa. Marines, we got a bunch of greens, and then a yellow for some Japanese stuck in there. So got a bunch of those. And then these would be bunkers are brown. The yellow cubes are infiltrators for the Japanese, and the reds to mark different things like exhaustion and cohesion of the unit and trackers on your board. We got 7 dice, nice. And we got the cards that are used for AI for the Japanese and actions for the Marines on there. And here's a cover that goes on our nice tray. And then we got the board. Matsubachi. So it's a nice, I think it's a 4. Oh, it's a 6 panel. It's huge compared to the other one. Oh, it's not gonna fit in my thing, but so we got our card places. Everything's laid out nice. We got Japanese infiltration cubes go here. We got our little Japanese fire attacks, Japanese bonsai attacks, which are more deadly, and our U.S. regiments attack dice, depending on what it is. So double ones remove a marker from or bad on the Marine side, so we remove a marker. Cohesion goes down for double 2s. 3s are rerolls. 4s are rerolls and remove not reroll. 5s are remove 1 Japanese marker, and 6s 2. And then the same thing, we got all those. We got Hill 326B, all these different areas. I see there's 3 markers like in Tarawa, but they're also cubes, which I'm assuming for our bunkers. You may get 2 bunkers per position this game. Try and bring it over. So it's a much bigger island, obviously, and a bigger map. And you got 9, 10 positions. I think we had 9 in Tarawa. Airfield, 2 airfield, 3 airfields. Green beach, red beach, yellow beach, and blue beach. So they come across. There's not waves for the Marines in this game either. As before, we have wave one behind the other. There's not alternate. There is no alternate positions to land, and I believe because it was really hard to land on this in different positions as well. And then we got our trackers for cohesion. 1 to 12 for 3-3, 3-9, 3-21, 4-23, 4. So the 4th Marine Division. So all the different units and regiments are all in here. It's a very nicely put together board. It's not anything on the back though. So it looks really, I think it's a very nicely put together board. So anyways, let's put this away. Fold up very nicely. So that's beautiful. And then let's get our rule book. We'll just look through it. Like I said, differences from right here. So if you play Tarawa 1943, you'll be familiar with the system in play. Key changes are followed. During the setup, the number of cards dealt out of each Japanese and US Marine card deck is different. The number of dice rolled during special landings, which is your beach landings, is different in that phase, which is like the initial turn, which is really not a turn. The mountain positions on the island is where attacking US Marine Corps will roll 1 less dice. So Mount Suribachi was a beast to take, and it was a real issue for sure for the Marines on the American side. And the US Marine Corps player will now be allowed to play any number of cards in their hand during their turn and Japanese turn. So before, I think it was only 1, or depending on how many actions you had, and this is a little different. And all the other rules are pretty much the same. So you have the game board, we have the bonsai, we have the cards, the bunker cubes, infiltrator and bunker. So the one on the left is the infiltrator cube position. Before, you just put them on the board with the other 3 long rectangle positions. Now they have actual positions for the bunker and the infiltrator. So you only have 1 bunker. I was maybe thinking we could have 2 bunkers. Maybe that's what those for, but that's not the case. And we put all the things on our squares and rectangles. Exhaustion cubes. the cohesion markers, formation markers, Japanese markers. Everything else is the same in those respects. So, and the game setup. Place one, let's see, having 3 markers share the same. Separate markers by the regiments. Each regiments have 3 markers sharing the same unit designation. Place 1 regiment in each beach position with the label facing the player. There are green, red, yellow, blue beaches. The other 5 regiments are kept off the board as serves as player brings them onto beach positions later play. So that's how the reserves come in. Take a cube and place it on the number 12 space of each U.S. machine. Yeah, so we're gonna do the cohesion tracks. Place the 3 yellow cubes. They call them gold. I think they're yellow. And the 3 Japanese infiltration squares at the right of the board. And place brown bunker cubes on the board. Shuffle AI deck and deal 30 face down. And I think we had 27 to 24, depending on how quick of a game you want in Tarawa. Place undealt cards aside, so it's random what you get, because you can get different things. And 30 cards for Marines. And deal top 3 cards U.S. Marine Tactics deck. Then discard any bad weather cards drawn at this time. Do not draw a replacement if bad weather is discarded. Bad weather cards. Regiments of Japanese formation markers are placed in the number positions for the U.S. Marine player at start of beach. Not all U.S. Marine formations will start on the board, which we already talked about. So in the special landing phase, occurs only in the beginning of the game. Make initial Japanese fire attack. Roll 3 dice against each of the U.S. I think it was 4 in Tarawa for each of the U.S. Marine occupied positions adjacent to occupied Japanese positions. Any die roll of 1 are treated as no result during this phase. This phase is only conducted before the first turn. After special land phase, then we start playing the game. So place a new wave as an action, regroup, rotate regiments, move, and attack. Pretty much the same thing as Tarawa. So that's not any different. It's just 30 cards. They didn't say you need to add more or less for a more complex game or anything like that. I think you can do that if you really wanted to. That's all the way up to you, because you're the one playing. And tactic cards start at the Marine Corps player turn. Draw the 3 tactic cards from Marine deck if they're less than 3 cards in your hand. You may play any tactic cards that is in your hand of 3. U.S. Marine Corps may play any number of cards from their hand during their turn, any number of cards during a Japanese AI turn. The bottom of the card states which turn it may be played. If any of the cards cannot be played, then the card may not be played. So really, the biggest difference is you only have 1 action or a non-action, it looks like. Because they didn't really say you can do only 1 action. Oh, maybe there is. You may perform 1 action. Okay, and depending on the action, cohesion may be moved or not. So that's the same. So it's just a little different with the cards. And everything else seems the same with the results of attacks and advances, Japanese. Yeah, everything else is pretty much the same. Victory, though, the biggest thing in the game. Marines receive 2 victory points for a controlled island position. Marines receive 1 victory point per Japanese card remaining after. So if you beat them quickly, it's better for you. The Japanese get 2 per marker eliminated, which that usually adds up pretty quick. And 3 for each position they still control. So that's up to 30 points there, because there's 10 positions. And they receive 1 per regiment exhausted on the Marine side. So they get a lot more chances to get points. So it's if the Japanese tie or exceed the VP total, then Japanese win. If the Marines have more VPs, then it depends how many they beat it by. 1 to 5 marginal victory, which is what they did. So if you get 1 more than Japanese, you're doing as good as they did in history. And there's a difficulty, so you can reduce it to 27 on the Japanese side, or make it easier to 33. All right. So It was designed by Grant Wiley and Mike Wiley, and the director was Sean Cook. And on the back you get a nice little chart too. And they have charts everywhere on the board, everything, so you have more than enough reference material in this game. And the cards look very similar to Taro. Here's command coordination. You activate 2 additional regiments, so that's a very powerful card to get in the game. Action points are always the biggest thing in this game, and a lot of these games. So let's kind of open the cards. And we're gonna do a playthrough with this because I love playing these games. I know I haven't done a lot of miniature stuff lately, but you know. Ooh, yeah. 4 cards. I think there's only 2 in Tarawa. That's nice. Air naval support. Add 2 dice. For any 1 regiment attack action, 2 dice regiment. May not be used. Infiltrated. Fighting CBs. 3 cohesion to either raise or 1 regiment, or 3 cohesion. Or 3 regiments by 1 cohesion. That's cool. CBs help you out. I love CBs. Flamethrower at adjusted die result of 4 to any result. Adjust a die result of 4 to any 1 result, including after rerolls. Interesting. Infiltration. These are the Japanese. Is that's got to not be all of them. Yeah, these are the Japanese. Fire attack. Tunnels of IWO. If Japanese player took a marker lost, not infiltrated during the current turn, place the marker lost on the board. Oh, they can bring crap back now too. Whew, that's kind of nasty. And it looks like they separate the cards a little bit. That's Japanese. Dug in, replacements, dynamic commands, bad weather, lose their turn, ignore 1, heroism, and medics, recuperate. Yeah, pretty similar. There's a lot of, I think there's more. I got 34. I may have counted wrong. I think there's 33 cards. Alright. And about the same for the Japanese. So, that is IWO JIMA 1945. So, it's a great solitaire war game made by a great company, and all the guys who did it, the ones I've played so far, I really enjoy their games. They put it together well and able to put them away and make sure everything stays and is well taken care of. So you're not going to have to go buy more stuff to make it organized. I don't know. It's a great game. Let me know what you guys know say in the comments about these kind of games. Let me know also if there's other games you want me to review and play just to see how they are. Like I said, I enjoy doing wargaming. These things, so solitaire I do like because I get to do it with anytime I want. If it's just sitting around in the middle of the night, can't sleep, play it, you know, for an hour and go to bed. Get my brain moving too. I'm hoping to do some more Flames of War and Team Yankee stuff, as well as some Black Powder. Putting some stuff together. It's just been really busy, and these games make it easy for me to play and take a break from my profession I do, day job, and break that work brain. Sometimes we need to de-stress yourself, right? And these are the perfect things. Same thing with paint and stuff, but these I can complete something and feel like I did. My miniatures, it takes a while to do stuff sometimes, so they're in a incomplete status, so that's not as much of an accomplishment to my brain versus like playing a game, get completed, and winning or losing. That's a completed and done task. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy the coldness where you are, hopefully, because it is winter time at this time when I'm recording this. So, and just keep on on gaming out there, and I'll see you on the next one. And don't forget to wash your socks.